All right, so let's get into it, bro. We got a lot to fucking talk about. Besides the fight of the other night, we got the Askren Paul fight. We got the fights that were announced. You know what I mean? We got a bunch of shit. All right. Welcome back to the UFCollins Podcast. What up, what up? We got mics now. The man behind everything, Pat Moore, coming at you from fucking Massachusetts. And I can tell you where because people are weird.
You want my social security number? No? Okay.
Yeah, let me see the last four. You can go catch him at PMore9, or do you have an underscore in there?
It's PMore? I don't even know.
I don't even know either.
Yeah.
He'll plug his social media. UFCollins Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy Nick.
PMore_9.
PMore_9. Hit him with that. Follow. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. If you're not following us now on Spotify, go hit that. And on iTunes as well. We're soon to get a sponsor. We actually have to talk about something that's very serious, Pat, about this podcast.
What's going on?
That I haven't talked to you about privately, but
no.
I told you a few weeks ago, for the listeners, I applied for media credentials for Bellator event May 7th, Joel Romero versus Anthony Johnson. They came back, and they said our name is copyright. And we're not allowed to have credentials. I said, I didn't reply. I was like, all right, that's bogus. Because I'm wondering if it's just the UFC. That's what they're thinking. I might have even... Yeah.
It's not copyright because you know why? Because your name is Nick Collins, and I just put UF in front of your name.
Right.
I'm not saying...
yeah.
No.
So that
makes
probably...
no sense.
I might have added a C there then. Because that's probably my problem. That's probably my fault then.
But, did you do UFC?
I think that's what I did.
Collins?
Yeah, thinking about it now. Yeah. So I'll give it another shot.
That might be it then.
Yeah, that's probably it. Because when you fill out the applications, like your affiliation. So I just wrote UFCollins Podcast. Probably hit another C. Because I always get confused of how I pronounce it to how I spell it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I thought you were going to say you got it. I was going to be like, oh, shit.
No, if I got it, bro, you have no idea. I would have been... We're going to get there one day, for sure.
Oh, we will.
Especially now that everything's opening up. We'll go to PFL. They did one in Atlantic City this past weekend. I think they're going to be doing the whole season there.
Oh.
So we could do that there. We got plans. Don't you worry, people. But
I can see Clay Matthews has seen better days in the background.
Yeah, Clay Matthews. Yeah. My dad who watches this, he's going to be upset. He's the one that got for me for Christmas. It's still hanging. This is 2011. Fat heads were big. And you could
10 years.
The Clay Matthews fathead. That was the only type. Because you can only get the small version. So my dad was like, dude, you know the feet. It doesn't it doesn't. I can't expand it. So the feet are into the ground, into the floor. That's how big it is. It's insane. It was pretty awesome. I have a whole Green Bay Packer other stickers as well. So it's pretty cool. But yeah. Well, we haven't recorded 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks
ish.
Not a lot happened with UFC in MMA in general, but this past weekend was action packed. Even the last week,
sir.
Well. And we're busy trying to make a living, so we couldn't carve out some time to record. But now we're here because after a phenomenal Saturday UFC event, UFC 261. Usman versus Masvidal 2, Shevenchenko versus Andrade, Doug Rose versus Weili Zhang or Zhang Wali, and a whole bunch of other fucking phenomenal fights that happened on that card last night. Along with this past weekend, we had Friday night we had the PFL make their return with Anthony Pettis versus what was that fella's name? He beat Anthony Pettis. He dropped him a few times. Collard was his last, but yeah, it was a good fight on that. Pettis, he looked good. I don't know. This kid was just a killer. I think he just had he had Pettis' number. But yeah. So let's just dive into it, bro. I got so much hype behind this thing.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Opening statements. What were your first thoughts on the fight? On the whole card.
Whole card?
Yeah.
All right. whole card, like I didn't watch the prelims at all, but I heard the prelims were very, very good for prelims.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't watch them.
I watched the last two of the prelims.
I heard only good things.
Yeah, even the first fight, these two chicks just started out wailing on each other.
Really?
Yeah, it was wild.
Let's go.
First,
fans were back. That was great for the card. Loved it. Electric. I would say, was it the best like fighting, like technical fighting card? No, but for like shock factor, I think it was one of the greatest cards in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it was like, go ahead.
Well, obviously one fight lasted 17 seconds. It was horrific. You know what I'm saying? But like the shock factor of each fight was like, all right, let's go. Like it was hype.
It was like every fight topped each other. You know what I mean?
It
like
got
you didn't
better.
know. Yeah, and it was like like it wasn't the most technical fighting, but it was at the same time. But it was so like I don't know. I'd look at it as it was an emotional roller coaster because you had guys that you wanted to win or thought had a good chance of winning and they lost. And you're like, holy shit! But the guys that won spectacularly, and you're so happy for them. And like, I don't know. I thought the event overall was a success. And you don't really see this where like the whole even I'll just talk about the main card and prelims as well. Prelims had a lot more action-packed technical fighting, but the whole main card, you never see a main card like that where every fight ends in a stoppage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there's no decision.
No decision. Not even a submission. Like
what was the longest one out of those? Did it even make past round 2? In any of them?
I want to which one?
Did the Rose one go?
Yeah, I want to say. Well, I know Masvidal Usman ended second round. Same with Shevenchenko and Andrade.
Second one. Yeah, none of them lasted. The longest one was, I think the Usman fight.
Usman, that was the longest.
No, Valentina was the longest.
Was that second
round 2, 3 minutes?
Wow.
Yeah.
I
think. No, Usman. No, because he knocked him out at 1 minute 2 seconds, round 2. So Usman was the longest. But that,
okay. Yeah, Usman, that makes sense. Yeah. Because that was coming towards the end of the round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude. All right, let's just get into it. Let's start with you watched the first fight. What was this? So want to talk to us about Anthony Smith and Jimmy Crute? How was that fight?
Oh, the Lionheart, you mean?
The Lionheart. He had this weird I think that's there's a new tattoo on his chest where it looked like he was just like when you are bored one day in class and you just draw circles on your fucking sheet and it just gets bigger and bigger. That's exactly what he has on his chest.
Just like you're doodling in the notebook, not listening.
Yeah.
I made this.
I think he was drunk one night, just went to a tattoo parlor and was just like, yo, just do what you gotta do. And this guy just got bored and just drew circles on this guy's chest. His nickname is Lionheart.
I would be like, especially in math class, like the columns of my notebook would just be like triangles and circles, and then I'd be like, oh, I actually didn't take any notes. I was just focusing on art.
I would connect them. I could make like triangles at the triangle. It was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Make 3D ones too. Back to the first fight. That was Crute, right? Crute and Jimmy Crute and Anthony Smith. Crazy fight though. The legs kick got to Crute by the end of it. Hit a nerve. That was weird. Did you see that?
No. So I missed the whole first fight completely. I was traveling to a friend's house to watch fight, and I showed up as the bell rang for Weidman Hall. I missed that Crute fight because you had texted me saying Crute's leg or someone's leg was fucked. And I was like, fuck, I hope it's not Anthony Smith because I had him in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what happened? Nerve?
Yeah, so the Smith's leg kicks, he was just going to town, but he must have hit a nerve because Crute couldn't. It was like it looked so gross. He like couldn't put any weight on it. Yeah. So he fell. So I think he finished that round, but his leg was gone. He was like struggling walking. It looked like a toddler trying to learning to walk, basically. Right. Like he had a dead leg, and he was ready to go he wanted to go the next round, and the ref was kind of like making him walk, like evaluating him, and then he took a step back, and his leg just died again.
No.
And he was like, "Nope, please, the fight's over." But he was pissed because if he didn't take that step back, I had a feeling they were gonna let him fight still. So he was pissed.
Did he Did he just back up to go back to his corner, or did he?
Yeah, because
Okay.
he walked out because they wanted to see his walk, so he walked out and then he was stepping back. And it just went
to get ready to fight the next round, essentially. Oh wow! So it wasn't even like the ref or the doctor saying, "Hey, come step forward."
No, I think the ref was like seeing if he could actually walk or not because his leg was dead. But
no, right. But I'm saying going backwards. That was like he was going backwards.
No,
yeah. That's hysterical. Fuck, that sucks. That's happened. What's that?
So I thought when he first got the dead leg,
right,
his like ankle was like moving in like a weird way. His ankle was like out. So I thought it was like a Gordon Hayward injury.
Oh,
so I was like, because I was watching with my girlfriend, and I was like, oh, that's fucking gross. And then later on, that actually does.
That actually happened.
So I thought basically he got what Weidman got, but no, it was just like a dead leg. It just looked so awkward though. It was gross.
I know because it was a low calf kick that did it, right? Repeatedly.
I think so, yeah.
So if you go back to you find it on YouTube, Bellator, first time in MSG, Madison Square Garden, Michael Chandler versus Brent Primus. Same thing happened. The only thing that was different was Chandler's foot, like he hit a nerve where his foot wouldn't work. So he tried stepping on it and it would just like fall. Like he would just look like he's repeatedly rolling his ankle. He couldn't like move it. It looked like
that's exactly what. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that pinched nerve that gets pinched from that kick. And Sugar Sean O'Malley, I guess you could say that happened to him in his Cheeto Vera fight, but I thought he rolled it prior to that fight. He came in hurt. But still, those are becoming predominantly part of MMA fighters' arsenal now because of the damage that happened. You know what I mean? Like you could stop a fight by just kicking him repeatedly in the calf, in the inside calf like that, and that they're exposing the nerve. And until somebody finds a way to block it, gee, it's gonna because it's like a fight where you don't stop somebody, or say you're losing that fight and you just keep hitting them in the knee, and the leg goes and they stop the fight. It's like that sucks. You know what I mean? Like very anticlimactic finishes, but it's like smart finish. You get Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're saying that his Crute's leg is like, I don't know. Dana might have been drunk last night when he said it. He said that his knee has no structure to it. That he blew his knee out.
I could believe that too. He was walking really weird.
I saw pictures on Instagram. And I was like, oh shit, that looks pretty swollen.
Yeah, it was just awkward. I liked his. He had like a mullet though. I liked his mullet.
Yeah, dude's wild.
Yeah. So on this card, I was 4 for 1. 4 for 1. Dude. And I didn't put any money. And guess the fight I did put money on was the Usman Masvidal one, and I picked the wrong guy.
Fuck. That's the worst. That's like, that's so depressing.
I literally, because it was me and my friend Mike, because we went both 50-50 on the Masvidal bet, and me and him were like, each fight we're like, who you picking? We were picking the same people every time, and he's just like, he texted me today. He's just like, you know what sucks, man? He goes, we were 4-1, and he goes, the only loss was the one we bet on.
The one that mattered most.
Yeah, exactly. Shit.
That's betting. That sucks.
Yep.
Fuck, dude. So you had Hall against Weidman regardless?
Yeah.
And you had Smith?
Yep.
Wow.
I had Smith, Valentina, and I had Rose.
Fuck yeah. Everybody was sleeping on Rose, which is great. I love the way she knocked her out.
I liked her last name. That's why I picked her. Yeah, I liked her last name.
That's great. That's hysterical. It's a good pick.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll go to the next fight if we really want to talk about it. The Weidman Uriah Hall fight. I was very excited for this. Chris Weidman, Long Island guy. Uriah Hall, even a New Yorker from Queens. They had fought each other in 2010 or 9-ish, right before they went to the UFC. A local promotion out on the Long Island. Hall was the champ at middleweight. Weidman knocked him out for the belt. And then Weidman went on his way. Hall went on the Ultimate Fighter, won his way, and he kind of had an up and down career. But yeah, man, what put away first kick, even the first strike thrown, Weidman shatters his tibia and fibula in half up against Uriah Hall's shin.
Oof.
A little deja vu for when he did the same thing, except Anderson Silva broke his tibia and fibula against Weidman's leg.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, Pat?
Dude, that was so. I felt just so bad because I was like, after that, I was just like, guys, just stop with the leg kicks tonight. Just stop. Stop.
Well, Derek Lewis was hysterical. He was like, I'm never throwing a leg kick again.
Dude.
And then I guess because how Rose kicked, or I don't know what fight. I think it was Shevchenko or Thug Rose. One of them when they kicked each other. He also tweeted, he was like, these people didn't watch the Weidman Hall fight.
Dude, I don't think, like, honestly, like, I'm betting they didn't watch those fights because if you go into that fight seeing that fight happen before you,
Right.
that would psych you out. That would psych you out immediately.
Shevchenko in her post-fight press conference, she talked about it. She saw it because it was in her locker room or whatever. Or yeah, because that was the fight. There was a fight before her, so she wanted to make sure her timing was down for her preparation. And she said in their post-fight presser that she cried before she walked out. She was like, she didn't know if she wanted to go out there or not. Like, she was in shock still.
Yeah, that would psych me out, man. I'd be like, fuck, I'm going in that same octagon, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I'm doing the same exact thing he did, a routine kick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a hard kick because you heard that shin fucking just snap. Like, you hear, like, you know what it sounded like? Like the 10-second clap.
Yes.
Towards the round. That's exactly what it sounded like. And Uriah Hall said that it felt like a slap, like how it normally would get kicked, but he goes, he didn't feel the slap.
Ooh.
So he's like, he knew he broke it. Fuck.
Dude,
what got me the most, what's that?
The grossest part for just seeing the top of the leg stops, but the bottom of the leg kept going. And then he took the step back on it. Ooh.
When that happened, when he took the step back and you just saw the skin flap into each other, I was like, no fucking. He's lucky it wasn't a compound, like through the skin.
Yeah.
I think Anderson Silva's was through the skin. Opposite leg, though. I mean, god damn, bro. I felt so. I mean, that one hurt me the most because Long Island guy, you want him to do well. And ever since he lost the title, he's had an up and down career. But, damn, it was so sad to see. And, like, especially the way he, like, just rolled over in agony. I was like, gee. I can't believe they showed the replay, too.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They usually don't.
Yeah, no. And I think Joe wanted to show the replay, and John Anik was like, we don't have to see it again. And Joe was like, yeah, we do. I was like, no, we don't. Yeah, I felt so bad for him, man. Even Uriah Hall. Because it's like, the MMA fans are like, they're very weird people, and they hate on people for no reason at times when they don't have to be hated on. And it's usually the nicest guys that they shit on.
Yep.
Even like Weili Zhang, like they were booing her because I'm not even going to say why they're booing her because everybody knows, like everybody can have an idea. But like she's probably a nice person. You know what I mean? Like you don't know her.
Yeah.
You don't know, like unless she did something and said something. Yeah, I could see why you could boo her. But I mean, Uriah Hall, I think he took it as much of a class act as anybody can handle that situation. I think.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like what he said too, when he was like, when he gets healthy, if he comes back, I owe him a fight. Like no matter what my status is, he's like, I owe him a fight.
Yeah, I
like that.
That was class act. And you know what it is? It's like, and he even said it too. He was like, Weidman was the first person to beat Anderson Silva. Uriah Hall was the last person to beat Anderson Silva. So like, it's crazy to see that dynamic, and like, crazy also to think Weidman has been a part of 2 of the 3 leg breaks like that in the UFC history.
Yeah.
That's like, that honestly felt like a simulation when that happened.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Joe Rogan. Yo, so you ever smoke DMT?
Joe Rogan. Copyright. So what do you think? You think I want Weidman to retire after this?
It's tough because I mean everyone likes a good comeback story. So I mean whatever he decides.
Yeah, I could see him. I mean I don't know because Anderson came back. He fought 8 times after his fight. After that fight with Weidman when he broke his leg, and he only won 7. I mean, only won one of those fights. So you could tell you're not the same after that type of injury, or it takes a while to get your feet back. But like, I don't know, you're not going to be throwing those kicks as hard as you once were.
And I would say, like, obviously the rehab's going to be tough, but even 10 times worse is going to be the mental, like, getting back to be like, oh, I need to fight it, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, plug Joe Rogan and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Shout out. I don't know if people listen to it, their podcast with Joe Rogan and Stephen Thompson. He said, because Stephen Thompson and Chris Weidman are brother-in-laws. So Wonderboy's brother and Weidman's sister are married. So they're like family, essentially. And he said that Weidman's had 24 surgeries at his career.
Damn.
He has a titanium plate in his front neck. He had like 4 different thumb surgeries, knee surgeries, like anything. He's went through it. So I feel like the surgery aspect, like mentally, it's like probably the hardest injury you've had to come to face. But like he'll probably be all right with that. I think I would like to hope, just because I don't want to see anybody go through that, and I can only imagine the rabbit hole you go down where you're like, fuck, dude, like. He's probably already thinking like I shouldn't have done that kick that hard, or I should have done this, that, the other thing in training, you know. And who knows Uriah Hall might just have a thick ass fucking shin, and that's what it broke, or it was already deteriorated going into the fight.
Yeah.
When you have a sec later, check out. I forgot who posted, but you can look it up on YouTube where Anthony Smith reacts to the Weidman break. Smith was doing his presser at the end, and he heard the arena like erupt. He was like, "What just happened?" And the media guy goes, "Weidman just like broke his leg." And Smith just like looks like he's ready to fight, because I guess they trained together for both their camps for this fight for last night. So Smith was like upset.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah, hope Weidman a speedy recovery. Hope Uriah Hall gets in there quick with a top contender. I'd like to see him maybe Uriah Hall, Derek Brunson. That'd be a good fight, I think. Or I wouldn't mind that. Maybe a Jacker Manson or Kevin Gastelum, since he just lost to Robert Whittaker. That'd be a good bump up fight for Uriah. But it sucks. But the night went on with some spectacular championship fights. I think this next fight was very overlooked and was very underrated fight that had happened in the whole night that nobody really talked about. I even tried looking up highlights on YouTube, and there was no highlights. I'm like, that's fucked up, because that fight was pretty good. Because it was all so one-sided. And Valentina versus Jessica Andrade, if no one knows what we're talking about. Valentina, man. Have you ever seen her? Was that your first time seeing her fight?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Both of them. No, dude, she had a game plan. She dominated. And they were saying that they thought her ground game was going to be weak too.
Yeah.
Against her, and she just flat out dominated. You're tossing her around like a rag doll.
You could dominated. I've seen like the narrative was like the only way Andrade could win was through the ground. And it seemed like all Shevenchenko wanted to do was go to the ground and be like, "Bitch, you ain't beating me up on the ground. I'm beating your ass up." You know what I mean?
Yeah. There was just like, it was kind of like she just dominated that fight. The other girl didn't have a chance.
No, from the first takedown on, that was it, dude. And you know,
repeat.
It was just rinse and repeat, exactly what happened. And then once she got her in the crucifix position and just started playing those elbows, so her last title defense, or 2 title defenses to go against Caitlin Juhagian. Same exact position. Crucifix, elbows, hammer fist, same
Dude,
fight. That's how it's
that's the first time I've ever heard of that, seen that, and I was like, damn, that is genius.
Genius, bro.
It's so
I'm just
smart.
gonna hold your arms down.
Yeah,
You can't move anything else.
That was when I saw that, I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I like this move.
Dude,
It's like, let's go.
I love Shevenchenko. She's just so focused when she gets in there. She just flips a switch when she gets in there and just like, all right, I'm running through this person no matter what. You know, I don't know what's next for her at the flyweight division, considering she's destroyed everybody. But, let's take a look. Who we got in that division? Because I don't even know who's next for her to fight. Who we got? I guess Lauren Murphy and I don't even know. Lauren Murphy's the number 3 ranked, but I think she has a fight coming up. And then Joanna Calderwood, she's pretty good. She was originally supposed to fight Shevchenko, but then she lost the fight. So, and then Roxy Foxy, she could fight her. She's number 9. Roxy Foxy's pretty badass. She's that Naruto chick.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I just like Naruto.
Yeah. She dresses up as Naruto in the weigh-ins and stuff like that. She brings like the whole headgear.
Oh, let's go. All right.
She's like 40 and has like 50 fights. And I think she has like a barely 500 record, but she's Ferda.
She's Ferda.
But yeah, man, she could fight her own sister. That'd be pretty cool. Her sister Antonia is ranked at 12.
Really? That'd be cool.
That'd be, let's see. She's already beat like half these people, so it's pretty funny to see that her sister could be in the talks of fighting her.
Yeah, they do. They said these were going to be like the best girl fights, and they lived up to the hype, man.
Yeah. I was on our boy Pat's podcast last Monday, or 2 Mondays ago. I apologize. And I said, this is the cream of the crop. Women's MMA, like those are the fights you can make. That's like the super fights you see. Like that fight was like a Usman Masvidal. Like it had that angst of like, let's go. Somebody's getting knocked the fuck out. Or like that hype around it. Because those chicks, Andrade, you know what I mean? At 115, Rose and Wally. Rose, a former champion, being a challenger at that weight class. It was just so much around those 2 women fights where it was like, wow, that was pure women's MMA, and like that's who he should build around and continue those type of fights. You know what I mean? 'Cause, like you probably brought so many more eyes to that women's division than you probably never had, in my opinion.
Great. They were great. Oh, check out. So it's the Cup Check podcast, right?
Yeah. Cup Check.
Check
podcast.
it out. Check it out. We'll get the plug in.
Collins
was on the last episode.
Yes,
check it out.
Yeah. They're pretty cool people. Antonio, Nick, Chief Keith, POB. They got a good setup. Check them out. Cup Check Pod, Spotify. I think that's Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your thing. Antonio, you're a bitch. You stole me $20. Anyway. Yeah, so we'll move on to Thug Rose versus Wei Lee. All right, so you had Rose going in there. Did you have any notion of Wei Lee, of who she was, or the fight she had with Joanna Jędrzejczyk last year?
I knew that fight. Because that fight was crazy.
One of the best women's fights.
Where freaking she had like the alien head.
Megamind? Yeah.
Oh, God.
Same.
That was bad. When they replayed that, I was just like, oh, my God. That was so bad.
I was with Scott, Dean, and James last night. We watched that fight after all the fights were done last night. And I was just like, holy shit. Like, I remember watching that and thinking, this is a draw. I was like, I don't know how Wei Lee won it. And then rewatching, I was like, okay, I can see how Wei Lee won. But like, holy shit, that was a fight. That was insane. So, yeah. All right, I got to gloat for a second. I don't normally do this. If you know me outside of here, I called that KO. Like 10 seconds before it happened. I was like, was like, Rose got hit with a flying knee or a high head kick because she could knock her out right now. She's leaving that chin exposed for fucking a flying knee or something. 10 seconds later, high head kick, bink, goes out, done. I was like, yo, what? I jumped up more because I called it more than that Rose won, even though I was happy Rose won.
Yeah.
It was pretty badass. But
that was good. That was a good fight, though.
Yeah. I felt like that whole fight, even the first round, I was like, holy shit. They're like swinging for the fences too. Like if you saw Weili, she was spinning herself around because even though she missed, but she was just throwing so much force behind those punches. I was like, wow, she ain't fucking messing around.
That KO, man.
That was insane. Did you see like Rose's body language and like what she was saying to herself while Bruce Buffer was introducing her?
Oh, what was it? Like, I'm the best or whatever.
Yeah, I'm the best. So she kept saying, "Is like I'm the best. I'm the best." Like, talk about going through the whole emotion of fighting and that whole sequence of events. It's like she's about to fight the world champion in front of 15,000 fans, first time in a year, 414 days to be exact, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm fighting for a world title again to become the two-time flyweight UFC women or strawweight UFC Women's Champion." Like, holy shit. And you have to get into that fucking mindset of that. And it was just, I don't know, I was really fascinated by that to see that whole transpire. Even her fiance, that's her head coach, Pat Berry, legendary heavyweight. Even after the fight, like saying, "You're the fucking best motherfucker." And like, just crazy to see that relationship that they even have, even though it's romantic, they still have that coach and like fighter relationship. I don't know, I was really fascinated by that.
It's just like, I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best.
And she looks like a fucking savage, bro. With that fucking buzz cut hair, fucking ready to fucking kill somebody.
I wouldn't
fuck
with her.
No way.
She'd kick my ass.
So, what do you have to say, Pat?
That's it. I picked her to win. She won. Let's go. One of these days, I'm going to actually have like something insightful to say about fighting in the UFC fights. We're not there yet, guys.
You know what you should do? You should just make like a funny spin on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you watch the fights intently, like you're ready to say something, but like, because you're a funny dude. So you could also be like, you could just nitpick something to where like, why did they do this? Like, you just make fun of the sport. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Could do that.
Make it all fun. I don't know. But dude, you're watching. But UFC ESPN Plus.
Yes. Let's go.
So,
it was
a deal. What's that?
It was a deal. I got it for a $30 pay-per-view if I did the whole year. So I was like, I'm doing it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Fuck, should I cancel?
It was worth the money.
Yeah, I was about to say
that pay-per-view was worth the money.
Yeah, dude. What sucks too is I illegally streamed it. And I buy every other pay-per-view. And I was like, I'm not buying it this time. Like, every time I bought it sucked. And yeah, fuck Masvidal too. But also, we'll talk about this later. I bought the fucking Triller fight for $50, $45. No. So I was hating on myself a little bit. So I was like, I don't know. I can't. I just couldn't pay for another one for another letdown. And I'm glad I didn't pay for it because if I paid for it, it wouldn't have been a success like it was. Knowing my luck, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah. So let's just get to the main event, bro, because I feel like that's what everybody's talking about.
Hell yeah.
Besides Doug Rose, and besides Joe Rogan's facial expressions, which we'll get to after he recaps the main event. But dude, Masvidal, Kamaru, take two. We'll give a little sequence for people who didn't watch. Masvidal fought Usman on 6 days' notice. Quotations. In Fight Island, July 11th, 2020. Masvidal 50 to 43 was the unanimous decision. If people don't know, familiar with the sport, that's like a blowout. Yeah. And it was pretty decisive. And if you listened to the podcast before, I preached saying that Colby should have fight Usman for this last night. Masvidal didn't deserve it. He hasn't fought. He didn't look good in the first time. I don't see the difference he's going to make the second time. And it showed.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Yeah, it showed because, first of all, I'm just going to jump into it. Masvidal was fighting too cute. And you've seen it time and time again with Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman the first time, where he's fucking hands down playing in front of Weidman's face while knocked him out. You saw it with fucking who else? You can see with the I can't even think of their name anymore. You see, I can't even think. Never mind. That's back. Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje. He didn't respect Gaethje's stand-up, and he got caught with it. Conor McGregor, Khabib. When Khabib dropped him, McGregor didn't respect his stand-up, so his hands were down. Expecting a fucking takedown. So when you fight too cute like that, you're gonna get caught. Masvidal got caught hard.
Yep.
Hard.
Bad. Cleanest KO. Cleanest.
100%. 1,000%.
Cleanest KO. It was just so smooth. It was
so
like
smooth.
light. Out like a light.
And if you see
Shout
that,
out Drake.
Yep, there you go. Like, he loaded up on that right. Like, he hit him with that feint, he hit him with that jab, and then, boosh, knocked him. I was like, let's go, bro. And then shoulder tackled him on the way down.
Yeah. Leveled
Super
him.
necessary. Super necessary.
That was awesome. And it was
That
just
was-
like when he, like I'm a big fan of like when they drop down the hands and they start dodging and they start smiling. Like I'm a big fan of that. I like that. Like,
right.
But it looks like now you're just a meme, dude. Because now it's like, oh, you're smiling, and it's like, dude, 10 seconds later, you're on the ground. You're knocked out.
Passed out. Yeah. Like, it's cool when Max Holloway against Calvin Kattar, when Holloway was fucking dodging those punches, talking to the commentary booth. That's when it's like, fuck yeah. When you're winning the fight, not in the middle of the fight when it's still either way. Even though I don't know who you took in the first round. I took Usman that first round. Even though I thought Masvidal kind of rocked him pretty hard and like kind of won the strike a little bit, but when they took him down. But Masvidal he survived good on the ground though, I have to say. Even though Usman fucking threw him like a rag doll. Did you see that first takedown? Bro. I was like, Jesus. Because Masvidal probably walked in there like 200, 190, maybe 195. And I was like, do that, Masvidal? That was impressive. But it just shows how good Usman really is.
Dude, he just keeps getting better and better.
And
Each fight.
And that's what Cormier and Rogan were talking about. Each fight, like, he was a guy, right? He fought Rafael Dos Santos, I want to say 2017 or so. Yeah. And he said, I only gave 30% in that fight. He said that after his fight. He got fined from the UFC because Dana did not like that. And that's when I did not like him when he said that. I was like, oh, you're a piece of shit. He won square against Rafael, but when you say you only did 30%, you sound like a fucking pompous asshole, in my opinion. Yeah. But, so I wasn't really a big fan of him until he fought Woodley. I thought I wanted Woodley to win that fight. He beat Woodley. And then I was like, fuck, all right, maybe he's a real deal. And then he fought, I think Colby was his first title defense. And I was like, I wanted him to beat Colby because I hate Colby. I mean, who doesn't? But that was a good fight. Yeah. That's when, but like, it was so close. Did you see that fight? Or seen highlights of what?
Colby won? No.
Yeah. But... Yeah. So fifth round, where it was 2 apiece each round, it was going to the fifth round where you don't know who was going to win. And the fifth round was back and forth in itself. And Usman got the finish, beat Colby. But it was like, even after that fight, you're like, is Usman really the real deal champion at welterweight? Because he stood up with two wrestlers stood up with each other and tried to box. And it was good, but he knocked him out. But it wasn't like a legit high-level boxing match. And then fought Masvidal, beat him up pretty good. I was like, shit, all right, he's the real deal. Because Masvidal is no joke. Even though he's a journeyman and I'm not a big fan of him, I don't think he's like a high level as most people did put him at.
Yep.
I think that Usman showed up a class act performance against that and was like, fuck, all right, Usman got to watch out for. It wasn't until the Gilbert fight I was like, fuck, this guy can strike now. And has a warrior of a chin because Gilbert was the only person to ever knock him down. You know what I mean? And no knock to Gilbert, but if you go into that fight, people were like, how is Gilbert going to fucking stand with Usman? Because nobody really respected Gilbert's punching. He knocked Usman down. Masvidal has in 2 fights.
Yeah.
Think about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. When he knocked out Masvidal, I was like, fuck. We have a problem on our hands at 170.
I love Usman's jab though. That jab he has, oh my
like
god, it's like so quick.
It's like a piston. It's insane, and you don't really see this in fighting too. Like especially MMA. Usually, when you leave a gym, it's for you're blaming a loss on your head coach. You have a falling out. So Usman would train in Florida with like a whole bunch of killers like Robbie Lawler, Gilbert Burns, like a whole plethora of 170 pounders, Michael Chandler. And then before the Gilbert fight, he left that gym because he didn't want to make any conflict, which is like, okay, I respect that because Gilbert was still training there. And he went to Colorado to train with Trevor Whitman, who only trains 2 people before Usman, which are Justin Gaethje and Rose Namajunas. Now he's training Usman, and you could see the fucking improvements in the striking that Usman has made.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he's at the highest level of the sport, a world champion in the UFC, right? And you're still getting better. That's something special, I think.
So, do you think with Masvidal that knockout? Do you think that knockout was more to do with Masvidal being too cute with him trying to do everything, or was it the fear of the takedown of Usman?
Great question. I think it was a combination of both, to be honest with you. To where I feel like he was kind of playing too cute, to where he's like, this dude's not going to knock me out. Like, fuck that. And to where he was like mentally psychology, trying to play mental games with Usman, where he's like, I'm going to put my hands down because I know he's going to come in for the takedown, and I know he doesn't punch that hard. So I'm just going to grab him for sprawl. So I think it was a combination of both of that. Fear of the takedown. Because he said I don't know if you listened, he was like, I was expecting to wrestle for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what the crazy thing is? He was saying during like the build up to the fight that he punches soft, like lightest punch ever, and buddy, you got knocked out.
I love that. Oh, dude, I don't know. It was just the sweetness, like, of that. Where to go back to July 5th of 2019 when he knocks out Ben Askren, similarly with the flying knee, and you see how he became so famous from that. Askren became a meme, and then all of a sudden, it's tables have turned. Even though Askren got his ass hit or knocked out,
Askren's still a meme.
Yeah, Askren's even more of a meme.
They're memes together now at the same time.
Exactly, that's the best part. Where now Masvidal is like, fuck, he's now a meme. It's great. I don't know. Because I'm a big Ben Askren guy, so it was like cool to see. And it's like the TikTok. What's that TikTok? The voiceover. It's like from Batman. You either die a hero or you live yourself long enough to be the villain or something like that.
Yeah, be a villain.
Like, that was perfect synopsis of the whole fucking fight and the whole buildup of that. Because it's like, you think about it, up until Jorge supported Jake Paul, that's when everybody turned on. Everybody was still a Jorge fan, and then he teamed up with Jake Paul, and I was like, that's it. Insane. It's like, I fucking hate.
Fuck Jake Paul.
Fuck Jorge Masvidal. And you know what sucks too, man? Like, he took it classy, took the loss as a man. I respect that. But he's gonna go on Twitter a month or 2 from now and he's gonna start chirping at Usman, saying that he cheated, this, that, the other thing. It's like, just stick to what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, just if you're gonna hug the man and say good shit, like you got me fair and square, stick to that. Don't go back to your hand. I hate how Conor does that too. Where he played the whole nice part in Dustin Poirier. Yeah, you were an asshole up until the Poirier fight, where people were like, all right, he's kind of a dick, but McGregor's like, nice guy now. Stick to that. Yeah. Now don't go back and saying shit about Poirier. I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion on being a real person.
That whole ordeal is weird, though, the whole donating thing and not donate. You know what I'm saying with
Yeah.
McGregor and him.
We'll we'll have to talk about that.
That's weird.
Yeah. We'll talk about that after we'll finish up the Masvidal fucking shit. What did you think? All right, so do you think the BMF title should have been on the line?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah.
I thought so too. Because even though it was a world title fight, I would still put the BMF title there. And hear me out.
Yeah.
You could put it
A double belt.
Put it double belt, and then Usman. Say he fights like it could just be a one set like another 170-pound belt, or if a 155er comes up, beats that guy for the BMF title. Now the BMF title is at 155. You know what I mean? Like it could go all over the UFC. I feel like that's such a cool storyline to have.
No, yeah, I like that. They
Right?
should have done it that way. Yeah.
Because now, all right.
Yeah,
so now you stamp Masvidal as a BMF, unless you do the Nate Diaz rematch. Obviously, that's when you put the belt on the line. But still, it's like, all right, how long are you gonna say this guy's a BMF when he lost 2 in a row?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not the baddest motherfucker if you lose 2 in a row.
To the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Decisively as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was poor marketing on the UFC's end, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Could have sold this fight 10 times more in that aspect. But you also lose the money power of Jorge, essentially. You know what I mean? Even though he lost, but he's still the BMF champion.
Yeah.
Say Nate Diaz beats Leon Edwards, or even loses to Leon Edwards. Masvidal Diaz makes much more sense.
Yeah.
For the BMF belt.
Yeah, I was
so
going to say that.
It was a security blanket for UFC, essentially.
For Jorge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for Jorge. Exactly. Yeah. So he's never, because you think about it. All right, you lose twice in your undisputed title fights. You look at the rankings because you're gonna fall because he's the 4th guy. He's gonna go down probably 7 or 8, and or at least 6. You look up at who's above you. Like I don't want to make a journey. I don't make a run for the belt again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now he's just gonna be doing money fights. Whereas Nick, I got a fight for you, Jorge Masvidal. You want to revenge your brother's loss? You know what I mean? Like he's got plenty of fights where Masvidal's in a sweet spot. I think. Mm-hmm. Even though I hate him, but it's still I want to see what's next with Masvidal, just as much as I want to see what's next with Usman.
Yeah.
What do you think's next for Masvidal?
Masvidal? Probably Diaz makes sense, right?
Nate or Nick?
2. Nate. Number 2, right?
Yeah.
And Nick Diaz, too. Nick Diaz makes sense as well.
The only thing with Diaz, I think, it could be one-sided. Maybe after Nick Diaz has one fight, maybe, and see if he feels.
What I was thinking. I was like, they got to see what Nick Diaz, can bring before,
Yeah, before booking that fight. I mean, dude, a lot is riding on the line now with Leon and Nate Diaz. Think about it. Because it's like, all right, so Colby Usman's next, regardless, because it seemed like they pretty much announced that last night. Which I think that's the right thing to do because Colby lost against his fight and then went and fought Tyron, beat Tyron, even though it wasn't the best Tyron, beat him up, and now he has a win under his belt. So yeah, you got to give him a title fight because he beat a former champion. But yeah, I mean, if Nate Diaz beats Leon Edwards, it's hard to say no to Nate Diaz being next to fight Usman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are your thoughts?
So Colby's the one that gave him like the hardest time so far, right? Out of everyone, right? You said it was 2-2 going in the 5th. So that should have been this fight.
Exactly. It definitely should have been this fight.
And then another note I want to keep talking about Jorge, but how can you? All right, so you had the 6 days notice thing. You had to cut 20 pounds in whatever how many days. You were sick. You weren't 100%. How did you fight better in that fight than this one? When you had a full camp, you were fine. You made weight. There's no excuses for you now, and you fought worse.
Is it that he fought worse, or did Usman just get 10 times better?
Yeah, that's facts.
You know what I mean? You can play devil's advocate on that one. I mean, I agree with you. What you said. Like, how do you like? He didn't look that good in this fight than he did in the last fight, in my opinion. Like he was sitting too much on his right hand. I thought that he could with that. I mean, he hit him with some good shots, but I mean, then man, you're gonna hit people with good shots. But yeah, that's a great question.
Oh my god! You know what I saw today? I was just on TikTok and I just saw like Colby and Usman's like their past beef, and it's just like Marty fake news man, Marty fake news man. It's like, oh my god, Colby, shut up.
Did you see the one where Usman's an analyst, and this was after Colby fought Tyron, and Colby's going off, and Usman's like, "That's cute. I broke your jaw last time."
Yep, I broke your face. I broke your face. What happened? He goes, "What happened to your face? I broke it." He just kept going over and over again. Marty fake newsman.
Wait, can I play it on here?
Marty fake newsman.
Oh, fake newsman. God. Yells at Usman. Here we go. Oh shit! I put the ads. Oh.
I saw another funny meme today too. It was like Colby talking with President Trump and then gets knocked out or whatever, gets put on his ass.
Oh
and
yeah.
Jorge hanging out with was it Don Trump Jr. or whatever? Yeah. On the ground. Yeah.
That's great.
Guess what? You're fake. No one cares about you. No one cares about you. You're pathetic. You care about me? Yeah, because you got the.
No, yeah.
No, you didn't. I stood right up. That wasn't even close. No, Marty fake news.
I broke your face.
I got right up and protested it right away. That was a fake stoppage, fake breath, fake fight. Wait till I see you next time. Wait till I see you next time, Marty fake newsman. You're dead. You're dead. You got unfinished.
Am I?
You better show up. I'm coming for you. You said that last time. What happened? Yeah, wait till this time. You know, Bruce, when it fake stoppage, you break down. The only thing you broke is your own will. You broke your spirit. That's why you wanted me. That's why you hide.
I did?
You said that last time. What happened? Wow. I'm pumped for that fight, though.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
The only thing that's going to be a downside for that fight, I mean, you still have the same storyline like you did in the first round. Colby, a fucking piece of shit. Usman, you know what I mean? The cringy trash talking, which honestly is starting to sell fights. Colby is not with the same camp that he was in that first fight. And it's going to show, and Colby has a lot to prove to see if he's the same fighter with or without that camp. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know. Because I feel like not a lot of people are going to be talking about that. I mean, maybe when the fight gets closer, they will be. But, yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll have a different Colby Covington that comes out, for better or for worse.
You know what? I have a question for you. Doesn't really have to do with anything. Every time I hear, like, oh, this is my, like, going into a fight, this is my best camp yet. This is my best camp yet. This is the best I've trained. You keep saying that every fight. How much truth is there to that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know if there's much truth behind it, or more or less like a psychological thing for the person itself saying it, and for the media to take it seriously. Where it's like, all right, like his best camp yet, he's gonna do good. It's maybe to help promote the fight, but I agree with you. Like, how many times are you gonna say that?
Yeah, it's like McGregor says it every time. This is the best I felt. I could have smoked my past selves if I fought them.
Yeah,
like,
that was weird.
Yeah.
It's so, like, you even say the same thing about Weidman. You know what I mean? Like, even though we didn't see it, but he like, people were saying this was his best camp yet.
Yeah, that's what made me think about it when you texted me that.
Right. Yeah, and it sucks that we didn't see it, but still, like, how many times do you think he said that? Like,
yeah.
Like you said, yeah, it's so true. I don't know. It's such a good question because I feel like it's more psychological than it is factual.
Oh yeah.
Right?
It was just, I just wanted to point it out because I was like, I feel like all these fighters are having the best camp out there.
It's just, you can make the same argument, and this will segue us perfectly to the GOAT talk. You know what I mean? Like, who's the greatest of all time? Anybody says the greatest of all time because they beat so and so.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's the same conversation. It's like, how many times are we gonna say this to where it's not true?
Yep.
It's like perfect example right now because it just happened. Kamaru versus could he be the best UFC 170 pounder against GSP? Prime GSP versus Usman now. Who wins? You don't know because GSP's on his prime, and who knows how that match would have. I don't know. I just think it's a thing to talk about when everybody's career is over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where we can sit back and say GSP never fights again, and Usman retires in a year or 2 years from now, and goes, all right, now you can talk about who would have won and get excited because that's like the LeBron Jordan talk. And I feel like we're kind of on that path with Usman. If Usman stays on this track, and because you look at GSP beat the who's who of the 170 when he was coming up, the Matt Hughes, Frank Trigg, the BJ Penns of the world, then beat his generation with the Carlos Condit, Nick Diaz, Josh, what's his name? Josh Koscheck, John Fitch, and then beat them twice, by the way, and then fought his own, and then fought when he first retired, 2014, 2013, beat the whole new crop of UFC got 170s with Johnny Hendricks, when GSP retired, Johnny Hendricks won the title. And then you're like, holy shit, look how good GSP is. He beat a champion that went on to become a champion after they beat him. To where Usman now is starting to lap everybody. To where now we could actually get into the conversation of, all right, Usman could be one of the best.
Yeah. He's got the trajectory.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope he stays on that because that'd be a cool conversation to have because I always said the negative thing about Usman, and I have to take that back now, is that he was never active. Because he won the belt he was always hurt. He has a lot of injuries. He walks up the stairs backwards. He needs to have knee replacement surgery.
Really?
Yeah. He walks in the grass. He can't walk in concrete. He has to walk barefoot at times because his knees hurt. Yeah, his knees are fucked up. So I always said he was not an active fighter and not going to be an active champion if they'd be hiring. And it took about 7 months before he beat. And another 6 months when he fought Jorge the first time. And then he fought Gilbert and had a quick turnaround. So I was like, oh, shit, he's healthy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I hope he stays like that because that also shows how good of a champion you are. Well,
yeah. Fighting champ.
Yeah, exactly. Your activity. Not like Michael Bisping or Conor McGregor, per se. You know what's crazy? Conor McGregor's never defended a belt.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
That is weird.
He was stripped of the 155, never defended the 145 because he didn't have to.
Yeah. That's whack.
Right? It's weird to think about.
That's weird.
Right?
And
go.
Connor, how can you talk that much shit, man? You never defended a title. What are you talking about then?
Man just got rich.
What was he talking about? He was like, Usman stole my combination, was practicing my moves. Did you see that video today?
Yeah, it was like the same basic boxing fucking combination ever that anybody could throw. And he was like, he stole my move. And he showed him throwing it on Poirier. Poirier reacted fine. I mean, it hit him. And then knocks out Masvidal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was just going off before we recorded. Usman got back at that.
Then what did he say? Maybe I might fight this guy one day.
Yeah. He said he was going to fight this Bollock or something. Like, Usman replied. Well, he first tweeted, get people to, Usman even copying my shots now. Am I to fight this guy at some stage? I think so. Can be copying my words and my shots. Because Usman has been caught saying the same shit McGregor says. And now gets smacked for it. I like 170. It's mine soon. Usman replies, except when I touch you at 170, they go out. They don't even go out at 155 anymore for you. I finish people. You get finished. And McGregor responds, relax there. And throws some Irish word in there. You big spotty back box. You were side last time I fought you at 170. 40 seconds is all it took. Talk about Cowboy Cerrone. Cowboy Cerrone is a 155 right now, a 170. Anyway, why did you reschedule the Burns fight? What was the reason? That was not given to the public. Why that already signed? Why didn't make any sense? Why that already signed fight was then rescheduled? Could we see Conor McGregor Usman in the near future?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I hope not either. I don't think anyone.
I don't want to see it. It's just gonna be like a Khabib match. Usman's not gonna stand with him. He might.
Yeah.
Now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He would just dominate the ground game.
Oh, for sure.
And Usman now has the striking ability too.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, McGregor. Striking is pretty much all you got.
For real. That's a fact, dude. It is having a ground game. So I guess we'll talk about the McGregor. Well, do you have any more finishing thoughts for 261 before we venture off into the other MMA shit?
No, just a great card. Loved it.
I hope
Great
the
vibe.
UFC. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the biggest thing that was pretty much a storyline: the fans.
Oh yeah.
15,000 fans warring in the ViStar Arena in Jacksonville. Did
Love
you
it.
like it? Did you hate it? Loved it?
Loved it. I just wish there was one less fan there. Jake Paul.
Yeah, I wish there were. Yeah, I agree with that.
Loved the
100%.
fuck Jake Paul chants.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Love it.
Also love how Daniel Cormier walked right up to him mid-fight. Did you know this?
Yeah.
Mid-fight, Cormier took his headset off because he was calling a fight, walks over to Jake Paul, points, I don't know what they've said, don't care what they said, and and Joe Rogan's trying to figure out what the chant is. And then 2 minutes later, Joe goes, I figured out what the chant was. It's fuck Jake Paul. And Cormier says, yeah, I'd tell him not to punk me because I'll punk his ass. Some shit like that. But yeah, I go back and forth.
But
now
Jake
with
Paul
the
say
fans.
something about him?
Yeah, so after or the night of the fight, of the Ben Askren Jake Paul fight, in boxing, you can have somebody from each corner when the fighters are getting their gloves wrapped. You can have a coach go into the locker room to see them put the gloves on.
Mm-hmm.
This is how the Tyson Fury conspiracy theory is fucking debunked, because the person from each corner is watching them get their hands.
Yeah.
So Tyron Woodley was there watching Jake Paul get his gloves put on because Tyron was in Ben's corner. And this boxer that isn't really a name, Jalen Love, started chirping at Tyron, saying, you don't know anything about these boxing gloves. Tyron's a 4-time world champion, UFC Hall of Famer. And Cormier tweeted that Jake Paul and that kid was like, learn some respect. Yeah, you guys are making good money, but put some respect on people's names.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Tyron in his last couple fights, but Tyron, when you're a champion, you have to have some respect. In my opinion. And Jake Paul tweeted back and wanted to fight Daniel Cormier. And yeah. So, but then started saying some fucked up shit about DC that I don't even want to repeat. And that's why DC went over there.
Good.
I don't know if it was an angle, in my opinion. I hope not. I hope that was real. I hope it wasn't fake.
I don't think DC like.
But here's why.
What would they do?
I don't know what the DC angle, but here's my opinion. Right? Dana White hates Jake Paul. Goes on the media, talks about him religiously, but then allows him to sit front row in his fight.
Yeah.
You tell me that's not suspicious?
No. Yeah.
I don't know. That just could be me thinking because I overthink everything, but still.
Yeah. Just I don't know. Jake Paul, what he's doing, like he's a genius in what he's doing. Like I feel like he's creating a lot of publicity for himself, getting that bag, getting that money. He's the most hated man. Has to be. He's doing it well. He's created this character for himself, but what happens when you lose? That
All
character, bye. You know?
Exactly. And we could talk, and I want to talk about this anyway, the Ben Askren and Jake Paul fight. Yeah, he, like you said, he's building his own game. Like, he's paying himself with that Triller thing, you know? Ben Askren did an interview last week after the fight. He was like, I didn't talk about the pay-per-view points because if I were to, they wouldn't have picked me. that says what's going on with everything going on over there.
Mm.
But yeah, it's cool. You're gonna fight a YouTuber who's never boxed, a basketball player who looks like he's never been in a fight before, and Ben Askren, who's age 40, coming off a hip replacement surgery, and hasn't been in a fight. Mind you, the fact he fought and wrestled at 170, 174 throughout his whole career, and you want to add 20 pounds on top of that.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope you knock him out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And a guy who doesn't really give a shit about the fight. And say you say want to, like, people want to say take a dive or it was rigged. I don't know. One of the things, I just think Ben was there for the money. So you could say he took a dive if that's the definition. But I just think you're going to build yourself up to that because you're picking these fights. I don't know.
Yeah. Pick a real boxer.
Right? I feel like
Fight a real boxer. We're gonna see what Floyd and Logan, what Floyd's gonna do to Logan, to these pretend boxers out here, man. Because it's so disrespectful to the actual athletes who are actually trying, who are actually putting in their time and trying to be something great. It's just disrespectful because you're just playing grown up is basically what you're doing. You're a little boy and you're trying to, I'm an adult. No, you have the money and you just want to be a boxer because you think it's cool. You want to be the tough guy, you know?
Yeah.
Jake Paul, turns out you just might be the most hated human being and you just might be a shitty person.
Yeah.
It's not because, you can knock people out, everyone hates you. No, it's because you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah. You hit it right on the button, dude. For real. It's like
everything he fucking does. Everything he does. Even his trash talk, dude. Your trash talk's not that good. It's cringe half the time. People are laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
And honestly, bro, like, Ben Askren carried that whole fight.
Yeah.
The promotion, taking all those interviews, and Ben didn't have to talk that much shit because everybody talked the shit for him. You know what I mean?
Did you see where he like basically shut Jake Paul up? He was like, Did Logan beat you up as a child? Did he rub you into the ground? And then Jake
funny.
just got so mad and like did not respond.
He looked like a fucking toddler the way he reacted.
He's like
the worst was like, this is the fucking fun game. It was like Ben knows about the fight game. It was so corny, that whole thing. That whole event was trash.
Oh my god.
Ben Askren is lucky that I like him. If it wasn't for Ben Askren, I wouldn't have watched that at all.
I heard that the commentating was like very like bad. And I heard they were being like disrespectful to everyone too. Like the fighters fighting.
Bro. They fucked in the first fight. It was between a DJ and a boxer. Boxer who was 8-0, and the DJ who's never fought before.
Oh god.
Midway through the first round, it was trash boxing. They panned the camera to the commentary booth to welcome Pete Davidson. The middle of the fight. Granted, it's not a good boxing match, but where's the respect?
Yeah.
Where's the respect? And then you want to have fucking Oscar De La Hoya, who's a fucking great boxer. Don't get me wrong there. I'm not trashing his career, but who's coked up, drugged up on some shit, drunk as fuck, talking about Steve Cunningham, how he was on his nickname is USSAR because that was the Army or naval ship that he was on when he was serving. And the whole time, fucking Oscar De La Hoya is saying, USSR, let's go, baby, USSR. It's like, really? The whole fight. Talking about how Frank Mir, because that's who Steve Cunningham was fighting, MMA guy, first time boxing. He said, Steve Cunningham is going to rock Frank Mir. He's going to kill him. Frank Mir lands a fucking jab and an overright. It's like, oh, yeah, he's really going to kill him. It's like, come on, bro. And the whole time, it was just like a show that they knew nothing about boxing. Nothing. It was so bad. Fuck. I go on all day about it. Because it was like, even the disrespect they showed Askren when he got knocked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you could gloat about Jake Paul. And then Snoop Dogg standing up. He's like, give me my money, Dana. Give me my money, bitch. And it's just like, Snoop Dogg, you're part owner of the Triller Fight Club, and you made a bet on somebody that is representation of your company. Talk about conflict of interest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're commentating fight.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you what. I'll never watch another Jake Paul fight. I won't cover a Jake Paul fight, and I won't watch or I don't know anything to do with that shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I won't watch another one, even if it's illegally streamed. I don't care if Bernard Hopper or Vander Holyfield is fighting fucking Kevin McBride. I don't care. I just thought the disrespect they showed to boxing was fucked up. Yeah, boxing's dead, but you don't have to bring boxing back like that. I don't know. That's just what I think about it. I'm not a big boxing fan either, but I know their history, lineage, because that's pretty much the roots of MMA, essentially.
Yeah.
Why it started.
Fuck Jake Paul.
Fuck Jake Paul. Anyway, fuck that motherfucker. He doesn't need any more time of this UFCollins podcast time. McGregor Poirier Foundation shit. What do you think?
So
Smoke or real?
smoke has to be. So
I agree.
what is Poirier saying? He never donated.
He
Right.
never followed through with the $500,000 donation.
And then McGregor was saying we were going to, but we wanted to know the plan. Basically, we wanted to know the plan where this money was going to be spent.
Yeah.
And then, so that sounds pretty reasonable for McGregor.
I agree.
So it's like, I don't know where the smoke was then. I think they're just trying to hype up the second fight, but
I think that's what it was.
But I don't get where all right, it's just a miscommunication then.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it was. It came out with an apology.
What'd you say?
Poirier put out an apology to saying that I'm sorry I shouldn't have brought this to public air or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because McGregor has every right not to send the money if you're not giving him the plans. It's like, yeah, you want to build a park, but how much is this? How much is that? That's what McGregor was asking for. And the only reason why I'm backing McGregor here, it's not because I'm a huge McGregor fan, it's because McGregor donates half of his earnings of the Proper 12 whiskey to first responders in New York City, and he doesn't do that just out of free will. He knows what's it going towards. He knows, he paid a couple medical bills for 9/11 survivors, like firefighters and whatnot. So, and children's hospitals and stuff like that. So, a guy who gives his money away or money to charity a lot, I'm sure he does that pretty frequently. So when you don't support that, I'm not going to give you $500,000 just to say, here's $500,000, regardless of what I said. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just my take on it. I could get why Poirier's pissed, but at the same time, no.
Yeah. Just fucking stupid.
It really is. And the poor marketing aspect of the fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got. Oh yeah. What do you think? Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori was announced.
I didn't even know that was announced.
Yeah, they announced it last night, June 12th. Don't know where it's going to be at yet. Probably Las Vegas, I could see, maybe. I don't know if they go back to Jacksonville. But they wanted the Whittaker fight to happen first before Marvin Vettori. But Whittaker said he wasn't ready, and that's what the date is he wanted to come back to in June. So Whittaker will probably get the winner, I'd say, of that. But, that's good. I hope Izzy fucking kicks his ass again.
Yeah.
Fuck Vettori. The guy's a weird dude.
Izzy comeback tour.
Let's go. I hope he does well. Kind of hope
too.
He does get wrestled down. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Holland type situation.
Oh my god.
Rip Kevin Holland. We haven't talked about that. He's still one of our boys.
Yeah.
We should have him on.
I love him. But he just needs to focus on fighting more than talking.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just a funny guy. I think he just likes to fight.
I think so too. I think he just takes the paycheck of the fight, and
I don't think he really cares about winning or losing.
No,
as long as he's just having a good time.
Yeah, as long as he's getting paid and having a good time, And the more
He
fights
could
he's
just talk
had,
shit.
the more money he's gonna make. Exactly. Look at Cowboy. He's made a living out of it. He just loves to fight. Another upcoming fight we got is Brandon Moreno versus Davidson Figueiredo. A rematch of the fight that happened December 12th, I want to say, or the 15th of 2020. Fire match. Pat, if you're not doing anything later or in the near future or up and coming to that fight, watch that first fight. Fucking banger, bro.
Really?
Banger. Barn burner. Insane. So that should be a good fight, June 12th on pay-per-view. Next week we have Reyes versus Jiri Prohochu. Jiri. Yeah. I don't know. What do you got, Pat?
Huh?
What do you got?
For what?
I don't know. Just what do you got to say about anything?
Oh, what do I gotta say?
Anything.
Anything?
Anything.
Well, I'm pumped for Sandhagen Dillashaw fight night May 8th.
What gets you excited about that fight?
Is Dillashaw's first fight back?
Dillashaw's first fight back.
And I like Sandhagen after that last performance by him. I'm excited to see.
That should
I'm
be
excited
good
to
fight.
see it.
I hope. We got 2 weeks before that, right? Is that May 8th or May 1st?
May 8th.
I'm pumped.
I'm pumped for that.
You texted me that today. You were pumped for that fight. I was like, I totally forgot that was booked.
Yeah. Because I was
That's-
looking. I was like, Dillashaw? I was like, what was he out for 2 years?
Yeah. 2 years suspension.
I'm pumped. That's gonna be a good one.
That's dope.
And you got two after that, May 15th, 262. You got Edwards, Diaz. You got Ferguson on that. You got Michael Chandler too. Oh my God!
Isn't Cody on that? I think Garbrandt's on that card too with Rob Font. Or is he?
Show.
I see May 8th as well.
Kremlin?
No, I don't think so. Maybe he's fighting because that's May 15th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is Cody?
I know he's fighting. I just don't know.
Oh
when.
no, he has his own fight night.
Oh, he does.
22nd.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then. I was like, I thought they put him and Dillashaw on the same card. I was like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah. Actually, that's a very bad idea.
Right? Yeah, then I hope Sandhagen demolishes Dillashaw. I really like Sandhagen. Because if Sandhagen wins, he'll get a title fight.
I'm pumped for that though. It's gonna be good.
That should be a good one. I'm leaving that up to you to give a recap on
What?
that fight.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, you'll lead the way on that one.
Okay.
No pressure.
No pressure, guys, but it's gonna be bad.
Nah, we're doing good, bro. We're gonna be fucking interviewing UFC fighters soon, MMA fighters, hopefully. Don't know if Bellator lets us in. If I spell our name right.
Yeah.
No C.
Yeah.
What else? Any other MMA news you have that we haven't covered in our 2 weeks of not talking?
No, not really. I got nothing.
I got nothing either, bro. I hope this next fight card, the pay-per-view, is just as good as the last one.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be 18,000 this time in Houston, Texas. Bro, Chandler, Oliveira.
It's got the names, man. Let's see if it lives up to it.
No, seriously. Ferguson, Dern, I don't even know. Danish? I don't know. But Neil Danish. Nate. Okay, so yeah. All right. We talked about it briefly, but Nick Diaz. Do you want to see him back or not?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even though he might be older and he looks ripped.
Yeah.
He looks ripped. I hope Nick I just want to see him fight where I actually cover the sport and to where I can enjoy it. Because I feel like I just watched his career back, like in his highlights and GSP fights and stuff like that, and like couldn't really enjoy it because I knew the outcomes. I knew what happened in his career. But to see him,
Yeah.
I would like to see him fight like actually where I could buy a pay-per-view or watch him on a fight night and be like, wow, Nick Diaz is fucking back. You know what I mean? Like to get that Nick Diaz effect.
Exactly.
And it was it was like 10 years a couple days ago to the Nashville Brawl. Strike Force had a Nashville event, and Nick Diaz fought. Who's he fight? He fought somebody and then beat up somebody else after the fight in the cage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Classic Diaz brothers combination. But yeah, man, I think that's it. That's what we got.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's doing well, listening in the pod.
Yeah, love you guys.
Enjoying it. Send in the feedback of what you want to hear us talk about.
Mhm.
Do any segment you want. Merch possibly in the works.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Male thongs. What?
Damn, bro. Flip flops, right? That's what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
flip flops. Yeah.
That's what they call them in
Flip-flops.
Australia. Found that out the other day. We got mics now, so we look pretty official. I hope the audio is good on this.
And headphones.
Headphones, yeah. We got little Beats sponsored by
Beats, yeah.
Hopefully, we're up and comers. We're thriving for greatness, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I
We'll
mean?
be there.
Yeah, we'll be there for sure.
We'll be there.
And yeah, thanks for listening. Check us out next time when we record.
Mhm.
And Pat, what do you guys say? Send off any send off messages to the people of the people?
Just be a better person at the end of the day, you know? Just got to really look in the mirror and say, how can I better myself?
And better the world.
Yeah.
Pat's
Yeah.
deep thoughts.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, Pat. One more
That's all
question.
I got.
One more question. If you
What's
were
up?
fighting for a world championship, what would you be saying to yourself before that fight?
Doing it for the money, Patrick. Doing it for the money.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope to see you soon.